Hello everyone, my name is Mirna, and on behalf of the Mindalia TV team, welcome to Mindalia live streaming, where thousands of people around the world gather daily to see the lectures and interviews organized by Mindalia TV. Today with us, Angel Ribo, CEO, consultant, TV host, international public speaker, and president of the Wisdom for Kids Foundation, is co-hosting with our dear Judy Hoberman. Judy is the president of Walking on the Glass Floor and Selling in a Skirt. She is an international speaker, trainer, executive coach, author, and radio show host. Before starting with them, we want to remind you that Mindalia's mission is to share information that can help raise the level of consciousness around the world, and you can help us by subscribing to our channel, leaving us a positive comment down this video, or sharing it with someone that you know that is going to benefit of the content that we're going to be talking here today. Also, while we are live streaming, like right now, we have the active chat, the screen that you're going to be seeing here on my side or under the video, in case that you're seeing us from a smartphone, and through there, you can enter your questions. We also want you to collaborate with Mindalia with your own valuable content, and for that, you can go to our website. On the top, you're going to find a link that says Collaborate with Mindalia. That link is going to take you to a form that you can fill out for our technical team to be getting in contact with you. Remember, you can collaborate with Mindalia in English through Mindalia TV English, as you know, but you can also do it in Portuguese through Mindalia Televisão and Spanish through Mindalia Televisión. Visit our different channels, platforms, follow our Facebook pages and Instagram accounts. Through that, you not only help us reach as much people as possible, but you also keep yourself updated with the wonderful content that is being shared there on a daily basis. We're not going to be delaying this any further, and I'm going to have now the pleasure of leaving you with Angel and Judy and our very special guests today. Guys, welcome to Mindalia live streaming. Let's finish yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mirna, for this wonderful introduction. And good morning and welcome back to Mindalia TV. Judy, how are you today?
I am wonderful, Angel. How are you? It's another gorgeous week.
Exactly. Another gorgeous week, another wonderful weather in Texas. I thought that we were going to be spring forward to spring, but unfortunately that didn't happen.
Well, but we have April showers already for May flowers, so the time is going. So we're just here, hanging out.
Absolutely. And we are obviously in the aftermath of our International Women's Day week last week, in which we were every single day talking about the 7 qualities, essential qualities of the women that lead. Mm-hmm. How was that taken by our audience?
Oh, it was awesome. We had lots of new followers. We had lots of interaction. People are connecting with us. It was great. It was great. So we are going to continue that. We just have to think of what the theme is going to be. But today we have something totally different, which actually fits into what we talked about. And we have some amazing guests. So can I tell you, please?
Okay. If you ask it this way, I have to say yes.
Twist my arm. Okay. So I had the pleasure of having Runa Magnus and Nick Haines on my show, and that's how I actually met them. So I'm going to give you just a brief bio because they have so much to talk about that I don't want to waste the time, but I'm going to read some of the things. They're both the co-authors of The Story of Boxes, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, the leader of the #NoMoreBoxes movement, and founder of the Changemakers. Runa is also the founder of Connected Women. She's the co-founder of Brandit, the EU-awarded personal branding boutique, and the co-founder of the Network for Transformational Leaders. Nick is the kindness ambassador, and truly he is the kindness ambassador. He's the founder of the 5 Institute and the creator of the Vitality Test. He's also a life architect. So we've got lots to chat about, but these two are amazing, amazing, amazing people. So welcome, Nick, and welcome, Runa.
Oh, thank you, Judy. Thank you, Andrew, for having us here. Very excited.
Absolutely. Well, just to make it clear, please tell me that nobody threatened each other to twist their arms, please.
No.
Awesome. Boxes. I love boxes. Runa, what about boxes?
Yeah, I mean, I think boxes actually are a concept that all of us understand. We believe, and it is probably just a human behavior to understand the world, that we place ourselves and others into boxes. So I'm a woman, you're a man, and women are this and men are that, and we try to understand it all, which is okay. as far as it isn't stopping us from growing, when it isn't giving us oxygen to breathe, when it isn't giving us space to be who we truly are and we're supposed to be on this planet, then the boxes aren't so good. That's why we call the book, the subtitle, The Story of Boxes, the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, just like the movie, only better. It's this thing that we have to stop and just breathe into it. Do I actually have to do this? How is it serving me doing that? How is it serving the other people that I'm putting into another box? Do I really need to do that? Is there a need?
So
and what are the consequences?
So do both of you think, well, I'll ask Nick this question. Do you think that we put ourselves in our own boxes, or do people put us into boxes, or is it a combination of both?
It really is a combination of both. And it's so subtle and it's so ordinary that we actually don't even notice it's happening. We just kind of think, oh, yes, I'm from this background. I had this education. These are my talents. This means I can do this. And it's so subtle. And people, we walk in a room and they've already said, OK, here's a white man. He's wearing a jacket and a suit. So therefore, that means he's like that. I'm a kindness ambassador. OK, that means I must be kind.
Mm-hmm.
Kindness, I must be kind to other people. So there's lots of layers that we make assumptions, and some of them may well be true. But also there are ones that are just really, really not true. So we're very shocked when we hear that Adolf Hitler was a vegetarian. We say, okay, well, no, what, he was a vegetarian. Yeah, absolutely. Because vegetarians we think of in a certain box, and they're peace loving and they're kind and they're considerate and so we don't have mass murderers in our vegetarian box. So he doesn't fit. So how could he be a vegetarian? Well, because he just chose not to eat meat. That's the only reason he was a vegetarian. The rest of the stuff. So it's good and it's bad. It's
interesting.
Good.
Interesting.
This is a great example, and it's so true. You know what do you think? Well, that's a question for both of you. But where in our education, I don't know if from a age standpoint or from even from the school system standpoint, where in our education do we start feeling as kids, as human beings, that everything is in boxes?
I actually think it happens way before our education. It happens before we turn 7 years old. It's when we really start to by just observing our parents, observing things, and not just what someone tells us, but it's really how we observe and we learn from looking at people and interpreting what it is that we're seeing in our own unique way.
I'll actually go further than that, and I'll say it actually goes back to our genes, our genetics. It goes back to the beginning of time, to every book that was written, whether it's Shakespeare or this or that, and it's sitting in our genes. Our ancestors did it as a way to survive. So it's almost inherently as who we are as human beings. And I really believe our next stage in evolution would be if we could move away from that. We could move away from seeing this culture like this, or this group of people, or men or women. I think it's essential as part of our next evolutionary step, because we evolved to do it. And once we have a consciousness now, we can say, actually, I choose not to do this. I choose not to put you in a box and limit you, isolate you, ridicule you, vilify you, promote you, whatever it is that they do. I choose not to do that as a human being. I choose to see us outside boxes. And then you open up a very different set of possibilities for humanity, and the possibility that we might, in fact, save the planet. We might just save it.
So, I think that some of it's very unconscious as well, because there was something I had watched a video, and it was all about the message that we give our daughters. And there were different little girls, and Runa, you're right, it was before 7, and they were standing up, they would get on the scale and they go, oh my goodness, I can't eat today because I gained weight, or I feel pudgy, and and they were talking about body image. So very unconsciously we have our children that are watching what we're doing. So is it really up to the parents to start being the role models that our children should see, that they don't have to be put in a box and they don't have to have these limiting beliefs? They can't also get the participation trophy and say everybody's going to get one, because that's the other extreme. But so is it the parents' position that they should start opening up the boxes that we're putting our children in?
Do you want me to take that, Nick?
Yeah. Go
okay. So my perspective is, when you're saying this, I think we all have to do this, no matter if you're a parent or not.
Mm-hmm.
And this is so embedded in our genes, like Nick was talking about. I was just earlier this morning. I mean, it's a afternoon over here in Iceland where I am. So earlier this morning, I was doing a workshop called Grow Your Happiness Box. And one of the things that we were looking at in that workshop was all of these things that we say to each other, like in my family, we don't make jokes of each other. Okay. So you don't smile unless there is we smile if there is a reason to smile. That's a box.
Right.
In my family, it's not considered to be very appropriate of a woman to do this. Okay. Another box. So it's all something that we say. And if we take that as the truth, we're stuck in that box. We're very stuck in that box. So I think, like Nick was saying, it goes way, 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 way back. And that's how we see the world. But just be aware, each and every one of us sees the world from our own eyes. And it's from the boxes that either we placed ourselves in or other people have placed us in.
So we have all those sets of boxes, which I completely agree with.
Mm-hmm.
And I was reading the other day a book, and it's called The Untethered Soul. And you know about the book about a guy
I love
called
that book.
Michael A. Singer, and it talks about surrendering. So I just remember that book because I just imagine myself, let's say I work in a corporation, and I see all this gender inequality going on, and let's say I start breaking off of all those boxes, right? And I start like not behaving like there's no boxes. Are they not going, or am I not going to be like marginalized or treated as a weirdo or even something worse? What do you think? I mean, what is there a right way to do this, to get out of the box without being considered that kind of animal?
You're going to be put in another box, Angel. You'll be put in another box, and now you're a crazy person.
Absolutely, so true. So, but they are the box experts, right?
Right.
What do you guys think, Nick?
Yeah. Shall I take this one, Runa?
Yes, please.
Yeah, okay. The beautiful thing about boxes is that they create another language to talk about this. So you can be in a group, so you can be at work, and you're aware of the boxes. And there are some fantastic boxes. You might have a group at work who are knitters and they love knitting, and they get together and they knit. So they're in a box of knitters and they love it and they have a fantastic time. So there's nothing wrong with boxes. It's when we start to use them to narrow down people's possibilities. And the beautiful thing, and we've seen this at the London Embassy in New York, we've seen it in Washington, we've seen it in Atlanta, everywhere we go when we work with the boxes, it creates a new language, and we can say to each other, oh my goodness, I think I've just put you in a box. So you say something about, and they go, or you can call someone out and you say, I think you just put me in a box there. And you go, ooh, sorry, I think I did, yeah. So what it does is it takes the blame conversation. So you can have a conversation about gender or anything, and you can call yourself out and say, I think I just put you in a box. And the person says, yeah, I think you did. And the box is the area of blame, not the individual. So we get into a very fun. So we were, an example, we were at George Washington University, and we were working with some executives at Capitol Hill, and we'd done this thing about boxes, and we were talking about boxes. And then afterwards, we were having a cup of coffee with one, and one of the persons said to Runa, who dresses beautifully and very stylishly, she said, oh, I love the way you Icelandic women dress so beautifully. In America, women dress really badly.
There's a box.
and then someone went, what? And they went, oh my God, I've just put every single American woman in a box that dresses badly and every single Icelandic woman in a box that dresses well. And we just laughed. Didn't we, Runa? We were just laughing. As a man, it's just really amusing when you start to have this secondary. So with your question, Angel, yeah, it actually gets less weird. People get less weird. People get more open, and it's fun. And you call them out, and you spot them. And I promise you, anyone that's listening to this will start to spot boxes when they start doing it. They'll start to see them, and it's hilarious. It's really, really funny. And that's one of the reasons we wrote the book, just to laugh at the silliness that we do. That men are like this, women are like this.
Yeah. But sometimes the boxes are good because then it starts the conversation also. Now, I know like Iceland is in a box because it's equal pay, and it does it. So if you're in a box and you're equal pay, then everything else you do must be exactly, perfect like everything else. And so you're the example. Now, is that true? Maybe, maybe not. But Iceland is definitely in a box when it comes to what we think of. We want to be like Iceland. We want to have equal pay. And yet I'm sure there's things that Iceland doesn't do that is, perfect, but you're already in a box.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And although, I mean, this is such a good example. Yes, we have reached a lot of milestones when it comes to gender equality and gender equity. And we might be considered to be the best in the world. That does not mean, by the way, that we are best. We're just not as bad as the others.
So you're not a cardboard box. You're corrugated.
That's a great metaphor, Judy. And so according to your experience and everything that you do every day, Unique and Runa, what would you say is the best way that we can help women in corporations, or women in general in the workplace, to get out of their respective boxes?
That's like what is life?
Suddenly there's a box. You saw the box with Judy?
I saw that
box around me, another one around Magnus, Runa, even though you're so far apart.
Did you see the box?
It just appeared.
It did. Woo! Yoo-hoo! Do you want my honest opinion here, Angel?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Do you want my really honest opinion?
Of course.
I think if we just by putting the question this way is going to make it difficult to really take us to the level that we need to look at this. So number one, anything that has to do with gender equality or gender equity, in my mind, has nothing to do with only one gender out of two. It has to do with both men and women.
Mm-hmm.
So gender for me does not mean women's liberation or women's empowerment. Mm-hmm. Gender for me means that I'm talking about both men and women. Okay, so I think we it definitely will take time to reach equality. I'm not saying that it's going to happen like this. Mm-hmm. Definitely we have reached a good milestone in the country that I live in. So we have the example. It's possible. Mm-hmm. So we're just human beings that live here. Mm-hmm. We're not unicorns or anything. Mm-hmm. Some of us at least. And but it has to do with a lot of conversation. It has to do with what does that mean to both genders, to feel that they are, no matter which gender they are, that they are valued for who they are. And if we take the conversation on a different level and we start to dig in, we all have our own bias. And the boxes are really represent that, and they show us that every day. If we look at that and we are willing and open to open it up and have an honest discussions and see how we do this, how we're programmed to do this, and we see then in our heart that it really doesn't make any sense at all, and that it's absolutely not economical at all for humankind to only use a fraction of what the capacity that each and every one of us has on this planet. Just does not make sense. So if we take the conversation on this level, I think things are going to happen more automatically and go into the flow of the result from that. So there's a lot of layers, a lot of boxes to look at.
So Runa, do you think that when you're talking to CEOs that gender equality or gender equity or whatever phrase we use, because there's so many different ones, do you think, when you hear, if you were a CEO and you heard, it's a woman's issue, is it a woman's issue or is it a business issue?
Are you asking me personally or what they say?
What they say. If you were the CEO, what would you think?
It's a human issue.
Mm-hmm.
It absolutely is. And I just had an interview the other day with one of the CEOs here in Iceland, who is a man, by the way, and his company has, before it became a legal thing to have gender pay gap and all of that, he said, we already did that. And it was absolutely a piece of cake. It was just a decision.
Interesting. Wow.
That's powerful. That's good.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
I like these guys' boxes, by the way.
Me too. I told you
would. Excellent. Amazing. So what would you say? I mean, obviously being in a box is also comfy, right? It's comfy. It's like, it gives us probably like a circle and a sphere of even self-confidence, right? So may the origin of those boxes be in that arena as well, in that realm of safety, of comfortability. Personally, what do you think, Nick?
In the book, we very much look at the kind of drivers, and there are kind of seven, 8 main drivers that kind of put us into a box. One of them is they make us feel safe. They might give us status. So they give an advantage, the ability to acquire something. They have an advantage that they cut other people out. So if you're from the mindset that there is a lack in the world and there's not enough to go around, kind of convenient putting yourself in a box, and you keep that box nice and safe and you don't let other people in it, which comes back to some of the gender inequality. There's a sense of lack out there. Whereas actually, once you reach a certain stage of evolution, you realize, well, there isn't a lack, it's a perception. It's about how things are shared around and what you choose to see. So boxes kind of, they keep your resources safe if you think you haven't got enough. They also give us a chance to have wonderful collaborative experiences. So we get together in a group, we group ourselves into a box, and we go off and have adventures together. So they're wonderful. They give us shared experiences. They can also, like I say, give us this elevated status and think, okay, if I'm in this box, that means you don't need to address your self-esteem issues, because you can put yourself into a box and, because I'm in this box, I'm okay, but I don't really feel okay and I'm feeling a fraud. So there's layers to them. So it's really fun. And once you get to see, this is where the boxes come from. And it's really fun. People love it. Okay, I think I'm in this box because I kind of want to feel important. So I'm
watching it like this. I'm watching like a checker, playing checkers, like jumping. Okay, I'm going to go in this box now. I feel really good. It's my new comfort zone. But wait, Nick is in this. Oh, I want to be with Nick. Okay, so I'm jumping this one. But Runa's really cool, so I'm going to be, and I get to jump. That's what I'm when I'm envisioning it. It's almost like the game of checkers that you just keep jumping.
And by the way, excuse me, go ahead, Nick.
No, I was going to say, and there's also the kind of popularity boxes, aren't there? Okay, they're popular, they're cool.
Yeah.
I want to be in the cool kids box.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
So I kind of. So
cool kids
my level of
exactly.
cool is I take off my tie. I'm not really cool as you, Angel. I just take off my tie. I think, oh, I'm very relaxed now, aren't I?
Absolutely. Well, let me tell you, Judy, we have to wrap it up here, but it's been, besides having more boxes than ever here at Mindalia TV, because we have a large amount of boxes today, and also here with with the images, and I absolutely love you guys. It's been a blessing to have you here. I would love to continue this conversation and see what we can definitely do together in this world. So really, I mean, amazing. Thank you very much, Runa, and thank you very much, Nick, for being with us today. And obviously, we would like to know, where can we find you? Where can we find more boxes? When can we get to know? Where can we get to know online more about the boxes and about yourselves, please? I mean, you can go on, Runa.
Yeah, you can go to nomoreboxesmovement.com and find out everything about what we're doing, links to where we're speaking, where the events are, how to become our Patreon, and etc. etc. So we welcome all people that see the need to raise the awareness towards these limitations.
Do your travels ever bring you to Dallas?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, then you have to let us know, because we're here.
Well, Judy, the minute you invite us,
we're here. I have a room for you.
Our travel will lead us to Dallas. It's just how it is.
That's right. Your bedrooms are ready.
Well, thank you.
What about you, Nick? Where can we find you online?
If you find me in the same No More Boxes movement, I'll be there. And then links to me. So this is a boxes conversation. So we'll keep me in that box. We'll keep me neatly in that box.
Beautiful, beautiful. Again, thank you very much to both of you. And Judy, tell us more about where can we find Walking on the Glass Floor, and where can we find you?
I'm in my own special little box. You could find me anywhere on social media, and the Judy Hoberman, Walking on the Glass Floor, Selling in a Skirt. You can email me, you can contact me through our websites, and I'm always available to respond to you. So that's it. How about you, Angel?
Awesome. Thank you very much. Well, number one, before we go, I want to just to say and be grateful and show my gratitude again to Judy and to the Walking on the Glass Floor entire team, because most of the proceeds, or a lot of the proceeds from the book, from the Walking on the Glass Floor, actually go to the Foundation Wisdom for Kids, which I am a co-founder and a president. We help underprivileged kids in Latin America become entrepreneurs using their local resources. And when we go to these communities, we go to indigenous communities, and we meet with boys and girls, even though they have not really been connected to the rest of our electronic world, they already live in boxes. And I have to tell you, you gave me a completely different perspective today about how I think and how we approach with our foundation the kids when we teach them how to become entrepreneurs and many other things. So thank you very much, really. So thank you, Judy. You can find me at wisdomforkids.today. You can find me at angel@angelribo.com and online as well. And again, thank you, obviously, Judy, for bringing two amazing guests today. It's been an incredible journey. So thank you so much. And again, this is Angel Ribo with Mindalia TV. Thank you very much, everybody, for being with us today. We hope that you have enjoyed our conversation as much as we have, and we have really, really enjoyed it with Judy today. I can say that it's been plenty of good energy, good vibe. On top of this, we hope to see you soon again in another show next Tuesday with Judy again, and talking about the Walking on the Glass Floor and many other things. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.